Okay, this is Fuller Mech making a quick little video doing a heater core on a 2016 Fusion Titanium. This job is a fucking disaster. I've never done one before, and I did it wrong, and I want to make this video to show people to learn from my mistakes. First of all, you can it's a mess, but it doesn't have to be like this, and I see now where I made my mistake. First of all, the instructions on Identifix and All Data and Ford, they're missing a lot of steps. They are missing a lot of steps. You do have to take the steering column loose. You have to pull it back. You don't have to remove it completely, but you do have to unbolt it and move everything back. You have to take that out. You do have to take the doors off. You have to take the doors off. Don't think you can get around it. You do. These bolts here go in right here. Okay? And the door is right in the way. You have to take the door off. Don't waste your time. You can see this whole thing is loose now. And I'll show you what else I had to do on the outside. And I'll show you what I should have done if I were to do this job again, which hopefully I never have to. But you have to take the cowl and stuff loose. You don't have to take it off. I took it off, but you don't have to take it off. You just take it loose and get to those two bolts there, and then obviously the heater hoses and the AC line, which is what I'm about to do now. But other than that, like, you got these two 10mm bolts on this side, two on that side, the two 13mm bolts on the sides, and then two 13mm bolts right here on the dash pad to go into those bars. This one here and that one there, they bolt in from the cowl side, and I've just got this bolt here to kind of support it. And now this is where I realized my huge mistake. I fought with this and the fucking ductwork and getting the bolts out of the ductwork. It was a fucking nightmare. I mean, all these little bolts, there's probably 50 of them here, and probably 20 of them or 30 of them I didn't have to undo. You know, I've got my little 1/4" drive there, my 1/4" high-speed ratchet, this 1/4" ratchet, a deep shallow, swivels, you know, just to get all that shit undone, and it didn't have to be undone. This whole thing comes out as one unit, and I see that now. The dash pad, this crash bar, and the air box is all one unit. Oh, I totally forgot. There's also a bracket down here on the driver's side. This bracket here, that also holds the dash in. You gotta undo that. There's only one on this side. There's not one on the other side. But like I said, I see now this whole thing. This is all one piece. Learn from my mistakes. Okay, a little continuation of this dash, just a little instructional thing. So you do have to pull the steering column. I'd recommend just, not the steering column, sorry, the center console. I would recommend just pulling this whole center console out. You got two bolts in the back here, one that bolts in from this side, one that bolts in from this side, and then there's two right here. They bolt in from this side, there and there, and then there is two more, one there and then one on the other side as well. Once you have those undone, you can pull the center console out, as long as you take off the steering shifter, this thing here. That piece there, there's 4 bolts to hold it on. That stuff's all pretty self-explanatory. The steering shift, the shift knob, how to get that off, you pull the boot down, and then there's 2 set screws. It sits on there like that, and there's 2 set screws right there. Pull that off, and then you can pull this off. Then you can easily remove the steering column, or damn it, the center console. Once you get the center console out, it's just a matter of disconnecting these harnesses. You've got a couple bulkheads here, here, and then you've got the airbag restraint control module on the passenger side. You'll have to undo that, and then also the electric connector for the shifter. That's on the passenger side. Once you get that stuff out, this harness will come out. And then underneath here, you have this bulkhead connector here. You have to disconnect that. 2 bolts there and there, as well as a 13mm nut. I can't get my hand up there, but it's back there. You can see it right there. You gotta take the doors off on either side to get this long ass bolt out. So, gotta take the doors off, get that out. Under the hood, obviously, you've got the evaporator core lines with a 13mm nut on there, the 2 heater inlet and outlet there, and then you've got 2 13mm bolts right there. I've got one in, I don't have the other one in yet. Same thing on this side. You've got 13mm foot long bolt over here, the 2 10mm bolts there, and then this bracket here. This bracket bolts there down to the floorboard there. And then same thing on this side. You've got some, I believe this is an airbag, I'm not sure. And then you got the green bulkhead, this white bulkhead down here, and then this big one that comes up right here. This harness is not there, it's actually on the center console itself, so you can't see that, but that's where that goes. Yeah, I suppose if you're doing like a shift cable on these, is kind of a common thing, the shift cable, or if you're replacing this, you know, at this point you would just have these 10mm nuts around it, take that off. But this particular vehicle, I was doing a heater core on it. I did break this connector here. This is the airbag connector that goes in the back of it plugs in the bottom of the steering column, and it is the airbag connector for the steering wheel. So I dropped the column down, and then this just kind of ripped apart. Fortunately, Ford sells a connector pigtail kit for it, so no big deal. But yeah, this is pretty much the condition, you know. At this, you get your vehicle down to this stage right here, this whole thing will come out as one unit. Oh shit, also I forgot, there's 2 bulkhead connectors back there. So once you get those off right here, get those off as well. So, but overall, I think doing this job again, I could probably do this heater core in like a couple of hours. Honestly, it really wasn't that bad. It was a pain in the ass the way I did it the first time. Learned from my mistakes. There's a much easier way of doing it, and I didn't know what it was, but I do now. So now you know.